You also know that the entertainment industry is a magical place. Even though it costs a lot, many girls are fighting for a place in the profession. Talking about the chaos in the entertainment industry. Many people will remember the incident of actor Jang Ya-yeon many years ago. In 2009, actress Jang Ya-yeon, who participated in the famous movie, Meteor Garden, she committed suicide at her home. Before death, she left a suicide note and a scandals checklist. The Korean film world includes those from Korean business and politics. After the listing was announced, it created a wave of outrage around the world. Today, I want to introduce to you the film, The Secret Scandal Norigae, which is inspired by the Jang Ya-yeon case. Let's start. Lee Jang-hoo is a reporter. Many years ago, because of investigating a political bribe that was fired, he was not committed. So he took his brother to Seoul and opened a small media office to expose the scandals in Korean politics. That day, Lee Jang-hoo received a strange letter. An actress Jung Ji-hee was mentioned in the letter. Before committing suicide, she was coerced into by the leader of her agency, and forced to have illegal relations with many people, even including Korean News's President Yoon. Reporter Lee was very angry when receiving a letter, deciding to help the deceased actress Ji-hee to find the truth, then contacted female lawyer Kim Mi-yeon to act as a defense for Ji-hee. During the trial, Yoon invited famous lawyer Yoon Ki and his aides to defend himself. The assistant recognized reporter Lee. Jang-hoo's news is often accused of slander, so it issued many times. Although he is appearing as a witness, the lawyer has always aimed at his shortcomings, and has stripped him of his right to be a witness to Jang-hoo's case. Office Lee was unable to let things happen, so he went to the prosecutor's friend and asked about Ji-hee's diary. In the letter, Ji-hee writes down all the names of the people she has to serve sexually in that diary. Just finding the diary can prove Yoon's crime, but the friend told Jang-hoo at the scene could not find Ji-hee's diary, because at the time, the police assumed it was suicide. Also did not perform an autopsy. Jang-hoo can only go back to finding clues on his own, at a high-class restaurant. Lawyer Yoon and Kim were talking together. It turned out that lawyer Kim's father and lawyer Yoon were college friends. After graduation, one person becomes a judge, the other becomes a lawyer. During the conversation, lawyer Kim also called Mr. Yoon by the uncle. Mr. Yoon still talked as if he was very close to attorney Kim. He wanted her to stop the case but was refused by lawyer Kim. At the next trial, this witness appeared for the first time. She is the manager of the nightclub. Before the murder happened, she drank with Ji-hee with her agency representative. According to her testimony, the representative Cha took Ji-hee to drink alcohol with director Choi. At that time, Ji-hee was actually harassed by the other director. But the two did not arise. Attorney Kim was dumbfounded at the witness's testimony, because she had previously told the prosecutor that Ji-hee was taken to lead the role of director Choi to take the lead role. But now I say I don't remember ever talking. It seems that the disadvantage is tilted towards lawyer Kim. After hearing this, reporter Lee immediately went to find an old friend. Meeting Jang-hoo, the girl put on a hidden smile on her face. Turns out, the two of them know each other. Jang-hoo used to help her. At that time, she was also an actor under the management of the name Cha. Then, with the help of reporter Lee, she successfully left his company and found a new job. But over the years, she also had an obsession, so she still didn't want to say everything and denounced her name. Reporter Lee also did not force her to speak. He continues to look for Ji-hee's manager Park Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon told him, Ji-hee was forced to film the scene of being raped without prior notice. Under the director's pressure, she was forced to strip and pull it in front of the camera. In that scene, Ji-hee cried bitterly. After that, Ji-hoon took Ji-hee home. She secretly takes sleeping pills and wants to kill herself. Luckily Ji-hoon comes back and saves her. After Ji-hoon finished talking about Ji-hee to reporter Lee, he felt a lot of pain. He understands the pain of Ji-hee very well. But when Jang-hoo asks if he knows where Ji-hee's diary is, Ji-hoo suddenly changes his face. His eyes are avoiding something. This point is very suspicious. Despite his doubts, Jang-hoo does not try to ask more questions. He sees that his former colleague is watching, wants to know as many clues to the case. But his colleague tells Jang-hoo to stop the investigation. After listening to this, Jang-hoo said that he wanted to bring this case to light. His former colleague told him to think about his wife and daughter abroad. After hearing those words, he felt like a threat. Then they goodbye to each other. This time, Jang-hoo goes to Ji-hee's hometown again, meeting her brother. Seeing Jang-hoo, he's furious. He punches Jang-hoo. It turns out that because of listening to Jang-hoo suing the others, he had to quit his job. After filing the lawsuit, he received a lot of calls from reporters. The restaurant's phone was bothered a lot, so it couldn't work anymore. Ji-hee's brother had to quit his job and had to move to his hometown, because he had no other choice. But now he forgives Jang-hoo and tells him about Ji-hee. It turned out that on the anniversary of my mother's death, she was back home. At that time, she was thinking about quitting. Her brother asked her if something happened, but she just said it was a bit tired. And her brother didn't think much either. Unexpectedly, then she received news of Jihee's suicide. He relied on Jang Hoo to definitely reveal this truth, to bring the innocence to his sister. Very soon it was the next trial. This time the witness was a staff girl in the nightclub. She met Jihee the time she was brought to meet President Yun. She said that the atmosphere in the room was very tense and different that day. Jihee seems very angry and doesn't say anything. Lawyer Yoon disagrees with her testimony, asking if she heard President Yun actively call Jihee in. The witness said he did not hear. Lawyer Kim sees that Mr. Yoon is trying to clear the suspicions about President Yun, so she asks if Mr. Yun has stopped Jihee from entering that room, or ask why she came here. The two sides of the lawyers made their arguments confronted each other. They both know that if one goes a little wrong, the nature of the case will change immediately. If President Yun doesn't ask to call Jihee to drink, then it won't constitute a crime. The judge heard that the two lawyers had a fierce argument, so the two sides halted the argument and let the witnesses go down. Call the next witness, Ji-hoon, onto the witness stand. The assistant lawyer asked Ji-hoon if he saw Mr. Cha forcing Jihee to go out to drink wine or not. Ji-hoon replied no, but he also said that Jihee went to Cha's representative to resign, and couldn't agree because the contract fee was too large. The lawyer wanted to protest, but lawyer Kim quickly finished the witness questioning. The judge also let Ji-hoon go down. The lawsuit is coming to an end. Only one important witness remained. Jihee's colleague Go Da-ryung. After Jihee committed suicide, she went abroad. If she cannot return as a witness, President Yun will likely be acquitted. Reporter Lee tries to go to see Da-ryung's mother, and once again go to see the actress, who used to help tell her the matter, probably realizing that this is an important moment. She is very cooperative this time, and tells all she knows regarding the President Cha. It turns out that after joining a company, the actresses will have free time. After that first period of time, all schedules are not arranged to make young artists worry. After that, Cha's representative will arrange for them to have a drink for the guests. And so the small advertisements start coming to them. Of course, these new entertainers will not miss that opportunity. Jihee, after tasting the sweetness, of course is not satisfied with the simple things that are just received. So when Cha's representative proposed an overreacting proposal, Jihee agreed. At this point, she couldn't turn her head around anymore. On the one hand, because contract compensation is too much. On the one hand, because a beautiful dream has dreamed for so long. Whatever it is, it's too late to regret it. Just like that, Jihee becomes Cha's toy. After hearing everything, reporter Lee was very excited because it seemed to have found new evidence, but unexpectedly that their office was searched by other people, taking everything related to the case. Jang Hoo got a surprise hit. He was depressed, drinking alone to ease his sadness. He had intended to give up, but at this moment his wife called to cheer him up. So reporter Lee was motivated. He determined to continue working to find Ji-hoon at a small restaurant. He directly told Ji-hoon, "The diary, where is it?" It turns out that Jihee's diary is still in Ji-hoon's hands. The one who initially sent the letter to reporter Lee was Ji-hoon, but at this time, Ji-hoon still doesn't trust reporter Lee, but finally decided to give the diary to him. At the same time, an important witness to the case, Go Da-ryung, also appeared at the trial, because he was afraid that Choi would put pressure on Da-ryung's testimony as a witness. The judge informs the defendant to leave the courtroom. Go Da-ryung then begins to retell the whole story about Jihee's going through the sex service she went through. At first, Jihee had to go to President Yun's wine, but after Go Da-ryung appeared, he immediately noticed her. Jihee's state now becomes very strange. Raised the wine glass and continuously introduced herself to President Yun. "My name is Jung Jihee." Jihee's strange action did not attract his attention. After he left the room, Cha's representative repeatedly beat Jihee, and told her to obediently do what he wants. Obediently subordinate to the president. Otherwise, he will kill her. When Da-ryung returned to the room, he saw a scene where President Yun was raping Jihee with the pervert. Jihee was abused like that by him. She lay on the table with desperate eyes looking outside. That day, she kept saying her name to President Yun, but only received his cold and dirty words. "Why should I remember your name? But my body will remember who you are." When does the body remembering you? "I will come back to find you." The reality is often cruel. No matter how Jihee paid, no one remembers her. In the eyes of Yun Sung-bong, Jihee is just a tool to satisfy his body. Because she could not bear the mental pressure, she collapsed, eventually choosing to take suicide pills in the room. Go Da-ryung finished his testimony at the trial, unable to hold back her tears. Lawyer Kim was deeply moved, and immediately asked the court to change the charges against Cha Eun-hyuk and Yun Sung-bong. In addition to the crime of sexual assault, the women who came to listen to the trial below stood to teach clapping and create a rather chaotic scene. Then, Mr. Yoon looked for Lawyer Kim. Mr. Yoon talked about Lawyer Kim also being raped. Because Lawyer Kim used to fell into this situation like Ji-hee. There will be sympathy with the victim. Will not be able to make a fair decision. Asking Lawyer Kim to withdraw from the case. This incident with Lawyer Kim is a very big one. Her family scandals are the pressure of the man. She called this uncle who did not take her over. Attorney Kim said that the fact she experienced is not related to this case. So she will not withdraw from the case. The next trial also arrived. The first time President Yoon stood in court, but he was not a bit afraid. He said that he himself and the lead actress did not develop any nefarious relationship at the same time. He claiming to be a person of high morality, integrity, and honesty. But when Lawyer Kim showed the photo taken from the camera at the nightclub, he couldn't say anything. At this point, the judge, who had to respect justice, prevented Lawyer Kim from asking him. This jury has also been bribed. Attorney Kim strongly opposes that decision and presents Ji-hee's diary. When the truth in the diary was shown on the screen, everyone was shocked, demanding to punish Yun Sung-bong. Everyone created a very violent riot. Attorney Kim still cannot believe this. She has not finished questioning. Everything was not clearly asked. The name of the judge left the trial. Wait for the disturbance to settle. The judge quickly announced the results of the case. Cha Eun-hyuk and director Choi were sentenced to 1 year in prison. And the one who made Ji-hee decide to commit suicide was Yun Sung-bong, who was acquitted. The story ends with a piece of deep piano music. Bad people still roam outside the law. Justice is not done in its own right. This kind of ending is unavoidable. But this accurately reflected the social situation of Korea at that time. And even up to now. Those who are in power use their power to do corrupt things. Actresses are forced to sell their bodies because of their high dreams. All of these practical problems are reflected in the film realistically. What annoys people the most is that the situation hasn't changed in many years. And up to this point, people still mention this shocking case of actor Jang Ya-yeon. The perpetrator leading to the death of the young girl remains unpunished, and lives a peaceful life, maybe somewhere. Under the aura of many actors, there are human tragedies. Hopefully, those criminals will quickly encounter retribution. That is the end of the movie. Goodbye.